And Nick's gone.
Okay. Took himself off the stage.
All right. Welcome back. It's been a minute since we've done a video. How's it going, everybody?
Ready for a new season, that's for sure.
That's for sure. And our streaming schedule is going to be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern up until the season starts, and then we'll be doing like the daily drafts this year. We haven't done them in the past, but they're getting more and more popular, and I think for the channel in general, we're going to stick with the streaming route. So that's what we're going to be doing. Let's go ahead and get a draft pulled up.
All righty. First, Best Ball Mania.
Disappear for you?
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, why do I keep disappearing?
I don't know. You should be good now. Do we want 20 or 30 seconds per
30 for sure when we're streaming, just because it's going to be so hard with 4 people.
Yeah.
Like, we already are down to the wire.
Usually. Well, as long as Nick doesn't throw in his.
Damn.
Public estimate first round.
Nick, don't hop in this because I know what you like to do.
No, I don't. Every once in a while I will, but not for the first one.
Okay. We need your undivided attention.
I know.
It's hard to do.
You need me to win, right? Have you guys done many drafts this year? I already maxed out the Schnauzer, so.
I did some of the preseason stuff. I did like 50 drafts before the NFL draft. But then
50?
Like the big boards and like the that stuff. But since the main contests have launched after the draft, I maxed a Schnauzer like you, and then I did like 6 Best Ball Manias and like 6 puppies.
There's some crazy value, I think.
Oh,
well, the biggest surprise to me is Ricky Pearsall goes before Brandon Ayuk, who should only miss like 4 games max.
Let me see. Alex, pull up Ricky Pearsall's ADP here. So wait. I guess while we're waiting for 9 people.
So yes. Ricky's 77.
And Ayuk's just after that. He's like in the 80s.
81.
Yeah, I would definitely go. I mean, the injuries, you got to worry about that. But like, I'm for sure taking Ayuk over Pearsall.
I mean, you could get Ayuk as a wide receiver 4 or 5. It's pretty nice.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, the injury is something you have to worry about, though.
Yeah, but he's still clear number 1 receiver there.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think about CMC at his second round ADP?
He
definitely taking some shots on it.
I think you got to get some exposure for sure, but that's a scary click.
The offensive coordinator already came out and said we're going to get him the ball as much as we can. So
right, and
sounds like a little bit of
that, but it has to do with can he hold up, especially when it matters.
Does Achilles tendonitis just go away? Like tendonitis, I feel like is just an injury you just live with. Like you just end up dealing with it for the rest of your life. It's not like a broken bone or something that it just like eventually heals. I'm not a doctor. I could be wrong, but
Nick, let's consult with you.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know why you're asking me.
Fantasy doc, Papa Giorgio, MD.
I mean, I'll say it's a positive sign that he probably got the best medical treatment in the world for Achilles tendonitis, and he had ample time to recover. So I think he's probably in a better spot than he was 6 months ago.
Google AI. Does Achilles tendonitis ever go away? Yes, Achilles tendonitis can often improve and even fully resolve with appropriate treatment.
Google AI is our doctor.
But it can also become chronic and require ongoing management.
That's the issue where, especially, NFL is like it's so rough, and like down the stretch when you need him in weeks 15, 16, and 17, is he going to be now? The reverse argument is they manage his workload and then they and then they utilize him in the playoffs. But I guess that's still
But then does he pay off a second-round pick?
right.
I think so.
I think he's
think
someone that I'm just gonna like come around the field in. Like I don't think I'm gonna have a massive underweight. Like last year was a full fade. Like we had the full fade.
We did nail that. That was lucky though.
Yeah, it could have been scary, but with the receivers like Chase, like I loved Chase so much last year. But
I mean, this year's board looks a lot different. Where's like Garrett Wilson at? Because he was at the turn last year. AJ Brown's like in the second round. You could sometimes get him at the end of the second.
AJ, yeah, I mean, you have some. I think it's kind of every year with Best Ball Mania, it's kind of getting like this push and pull. Like early Best Ball Manias, like were wide receiver heavy, like the running backs just didn't really pay off. And so then the next year people draft more wide receiver heavy. So it's like this push and pull. Last year was the year of the early running backs. But I think that's going to, come back towards receivers being more valuable early. Like, yes, getting one or two in the first 6 rounds, I think is fine, like an anchor running back. But
yeah, I think this year we're going to get a taste of what we saw maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, where rookie running backs take the main stage over wide receivers. Although I think Tech McMillan could be worthy of a top or first or second rounder, just with the volume that.
Wait, you think Tet is worth a first or second round pick in drafts?
I think he could pan out to that by this time next year.
I would be shocked. I think he's
like a neighbor. He's going to get the same volume as like Neighbors did last year.
You on the Bryce Young train this year?
I mean, what did Neighbors have last year?
True.
And he still made
Neighbors
it happen.
was a better prospect than Tet.
Much better.
Yeah. Gentry going in the top 10 is pretty asinine in my opinion. I know he was a great college running back, but a situation where we don't know what that offensive line is going to look like, and that team's going to be bad. Like they're not going to be any good. It's not like he's going to like a good situation. Yes, I understand he's going to get the volume, but I'm not.
Raiders are going to look like a new team this year.
It is
new coach, new QB.
It's pretty crazy to see 2 Raiders in the top 15.
Yeah, but I'm with you, Corey. I think Genty. Oh, there we go. We get
our first.
Love that start.
Let's go.
What a way to start.
Let's go. It's gonna be a good year, boys.
Jamar Chase with our first.
Saquon Barkley, number 1.
No, Jamar Chase.
Hey, remember when you said Saquon wasn't gonna do good last year, PB?
No, we never said that.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
It's pretty fitting that this came in the mail today too. Oh, you can't see
that. See it.
It's a Jamar Chase rookie card, Prism.
Wow.
I mean, it's always the
just opened it right. Just opened it right before we actually hopped on here.
There you go.
When you get the 101, you have to take Jamar Chase.
You take Barkley.
You could take him, but
I got Barkley at the 5th pick in a puppy.
We might have to write Underdog and ask why we don't have a badge yet. It seemed to work for Nick last year.
You just asked Nick, DM, hey, give me a badge.
It is
that badge is gone.
No, but Corey, I'm with you on. Is it Genty or Genty?
It's Genty.
Okay. Genty. Well, yeah, I love him as a prospect. So I'm of the belief that he is, the same caliber running back as a Saquon, as a CMC, as those guys. But it's the offense that he's in, and I'm just leaning like I think this year. I'm gonna take guys like Saquon at ADP and Bijan, but I really like the receivers in round 1.
Yeah, no, I think you take the heavy hitters and don't take a potential flyer in the first round. Like
I don't think he's a flyer. Like he's gonna get like 1,500 yards and 10 plus touchdowns probably.
I don't know if he's gonna get 1,500 yards.
Well,
that offensive line is doo-doo.
No, between his rush attempts and his rushing yards and his receiving yards, he's going to get near, I would imagine, 1,500.
Okay, total yards.
Total yards. Yeah, but that's what, 150 just straight points off of yards, not factoring in half-point receptions and touchdowns. That's like 150 fantasy point floor.
I think he maybe gets 1,000 yards. I'd say 1,000 yards rushing.
And what, like 400 yards, 350 yards receiving?
I'd say 200 something yards receiving.
He's a pretty damn good receiver.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, and I don't think 10 touchdowns. I think 10 touchdowns may be.
They're going to feed him. I mean, think about it. Like, they have 18 games.
They're going to feed him, but they got to get down to the red zone to where he's going to be most.
I mean, Geno's still better than what they had.
Okay.
Big time.
Do we have to go back to this Geno train again?
He's better than what they had. Like,
I know he's better than what they had, but he's not like this, first team,
he's extremely accurate.
He's extremely bad too.
He's an upgrade to their team.
He's an upgrade. I'm not denying that he's not an upgrade. They had who didn't even have him throwing the ball last year? Yeah.
Okay, so these two guys are going. These guys don't care. They're just at Genty, Achane, McCaffrey, and Derrick Henry. Just starting with the two, like, big name running backs. I don't want to start many teams that way this year.
I mean, if someone falls to you, then you take the value. But I mean, early on, like right now, we don't even have the schedules out. So, like, I mean, it's scary to take two big running backs like that. I mean, it's one bye week, but you don't know who their matchups are. You don't know the end of the season where they may be playing against who.
Well, we don't know that for anyone, though.
No, I know, but like, I don't know. I feel like running backs, they're not as valuable as the receiving options, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I want like 4 receivers through like the first 7 rounds, ideally.
Well, we're gonna get the pick of a lot here, so
yeah, I'm fine with coming up here. I'm fine with any of, like, I do actually like the 3 running backs here. I do take like at ADP. Taylor finally is not going in like the late first, early second, so he's like, and if Daniel Jones is playing, he's a much better pick, and we expect Daniel Jones to be starting. So,
well, maybe.
I mean, I'm expecting Daniel Jones to be the starter.
He's going to be the starter, I think,
for sure.
All right,
I would be shocked if he's not. Let's just say that. I'm fine with McBride, Jacobs, Tyreek, JSN.
I like JSN.
Well, I guess we get 2 picks. So
yeah, where do we want to go first here?
I think Jacobs. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Jacobs is like, I mean, he's the Marshawn Lloyd's really the only other guy there.
I say Tyreek.
I mean, I'm fine with Tyreek too. There's slightly more risk, but I guess a lot of upside too.
I like JSN.
Alex,
that's my vote.
You can be the tiebreaker, Alex. I'm fine with any of those 3, but it sounds like we're between Tyreek and
DK JSN. Gone. I don't know.
Let's go Tyreek.
Fine with that.
Run it back one more time for the old man.
I mean, old man still runs a very fast 40.
Do you think he actually plays this season in Miami?
As long as he's not bogged down by the child support that he has to pay, month.
That might be a plus. Playing for incentives.
I need another contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be a guy that I feel like is just either going to be an insane value or it's just like a waste of a pick because he's either still dealing with an injury or he's just kind of like not the same guy. Like to me, it's one or the other. It's like a complete bust or a really good value.
I don't think he's. I mean, last year
Isn't it his hand?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it a hand thing?
I thought so.
Yeah, I feel like that's with an off season to heal, not going to be a huge issue.
Yeah, but he's also 31, so I don't know.
That's
When
true.
you're a speed guy, that
True.
can start to become an issue. Like with just wear on your body is like. How often do speed guys have success at 31 years old?
It's more rare, but if anyone's going to be the exception, it's Cheetah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his last year probably, so he wants to ball out.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's always could be some weird in-season trade too, where he goes to like a crazy good team.
Like
yeah, and then they got Knicks guy Quinn Ewers if Tua goes down with another concussion.
That's true. A little bit better backup plan.
making less money in the NFL than he is in college.
It's pretty wild state of affairs.
So right now, Burrow is kind of weird because, like, obviously, you want to stack, but like Burrow goes so early.
He's going very early.
Like I try to push it, and there's been a time when I had Chase and T, and then I pushed him past his ADP, and someone just took him naked. Like,
wasn't that Nick? Didn't Nick do that to you?
That was last year. He did that to me.
Oh, that was last year.
I still will never forget it. You had like two really good quarterbacks, and then you're like, I can't let him get this. He's gonna win. He's gonna win all of Ball Mania if I don't take Burrow here. And then you put like Jermaine Burton on the team and thought it was okay.
I mean, he panned out.
Hey, he was supposed to be wide receiver 3.
Is he even on the team anymore?
Probably.
I don't know.
There's no way they let that. He's a little bit of a nutcase, but
I did pull his rookie card today.
Hold on to that.
Yeah. That's going to be wait and see.
He's still on the roster.
Yeah. Well, I'll say we can. I think we still, because there are teams out there that do have like Chase, Higgins. They push Burrow and get him at pick 70 or something, whatever the next round is.
Do you want to guess his stat line from his rookie year?
Who, Burton?
Yeah.
7 catches for 110 yards and 1 touchdown.
I'll say
pretty close.
I'll say 12 for 198, and
I think he was south of 100 yards.
4 receptions, 107 yards, 14 games played, 1 start.
That was close, man.
Corey was the closest.
I remember in showdown slates, I'd be like playing cheap Jermaine Burton, trying to hit the home run. There were so many tilting nights.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
There were a few where I was so tilted. Like he just had like, he just, I don't know, like he was wide open and then the ball, couldn't see it or something. And then just, I'd be so tilted at Jermaine Burton.
All right. So wide receivers here, J-Mo, Love, Sutton, Love.
I mean, DK Metcalf seems like a huge value, and in the 4th, 5th.
Yep, with Pickens gone.
Yeah.
Is there any concern?
And Rodgers is still probably going to be there.
Yeah. Is there any concern with CD going as high as he does now that Pickens is on the team?
No.
He's in top
CD's
5. He's still CD.
And it's just going to make the offense better.
I was going to say it might take some pressure off of him in a good way. Some less double teams.
We did not get Burrow, by the way. The guy took him early.
He was T. He had probably a T.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and Chase.
My vote here would be Zay Flowers and Sutton. What do you guys think?
I said J-Mo. I take
Yeah,
J-Mo.
I like Jameson Williams.
I think he goes so high now.
Yeah, well, you see how he ended.
Yeah, but if Ben Johnson's gone, I think the Lions are going to be good, but worse than they were last year.
All right, fine. Do Cortland first, because I think we all agree on Cortland.
Yep.
What do you think, Alex? Between Flowers, would you rather have Lamar's wide receiver 1? Or
yeah, I tend to lean Zay's way, especially with what's his face, Mark Andrews aging, and Yeah, I tend to lean with Zay. I think losing Ben Johnson is where a lot of Jameson's,
Yep.
gadget plays, big yard pickups came from. Not to say that he can't do that still, but I think he's going to potentially have less opportunities or less creatives to get
Right.
that done, to hit
Who's-
that ceiling.
Who is their OC now?
It's like the passing coordinator from the Broncos. Like, I mean, it's going to look different. Like Ben Johnson is
Yeah.
obviously, this is why the Bears are going to be incredible.
First Google Lions OC, first article that comes up. Lions OC John Morton predicts breakout year for wide receiver Jameson Williams.
You're just going to be scheming everything for him. No, I just can't see. I mean, Ben Johnson, I don't see a person being better than him entering the Lions. And they lost. Their offensive line is not as good as it's been in the past. They've lost some guys. Like, to me, they'll be good. They'll be like a high scoring team, but I don't like Jameson Williams is just like a little too rich in the fourth when there's other guys like Waddle, Ridley, Flowers.
Yeah, Waddle in
Pickens.
the 5th round is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, to me, one of Waddle or Tyreek is a huge.
I mean, if Tyreek really does get traded, the games that Waddle played with Tua,
he's going to crush.
he was putting up 30-point games consistently when Tyreek wasn't there.
I feel like Waddle had a really bad year last year.
Yeah,
He
it
did.
wasn't great.
It was
last
his worst
That's
year
why
ever.
he's fallen.
But it really wasn't his fault.
He's hurt a little bit too.
Yeah, so we have what, 2, 3, 4 receivers. I like it.
Chase,
Yep.
Tyreek, Sutton, Zay.
Chris
Probably
Godwin,
need to round out the team.
ungodly late.
Yeah.
Late? Well,
Yeah.
because of his injury.
That injury.
I
Yeah.
understand his injury, but
He might not be
so
playing.
early, that was so early in the year.
I don't.
It was midway through the year. I should say.
Do we have our AI assistant on deck?
Yeah, I'm looking him up now.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be missing. I think also when you have Jalen McMillan, who just drafted, and then you go and draft Egbuka in the first.
Yeah.
I get they're trying to plan for their future with Evans being old, but like to me that says like it's a little more iffy on Godwin.
Yeah, I think that draft pick was a little. I mean, yeah, like you said, obviously Mike Evans is getting a little bit older, but still put up 1,000 yards again. Like probably not a just insane cliff drop off. And if you draft in a receiver there as early as they did, that makes me think they're a little more iffy on Godwin.
Yeah. And it sucks. There's some receivers that I like Egbuka. I really just wanted, and if Godwin was like out for the year or something like that, I'd be all in on him. But he went to this team that's so crowded, and I wish he could have, like, if you would have gone to like the Cowboys or something, then it would have been such a good landing spot for fantasy.
I mean, Baker slings it.
Yeah, I know, but it's just
just a lot of mouths to feed.
But he also lost his OC.
Yeah.
Where'd he go, Nick?
Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you say?
Very young.
I'm just saying. You guys can interpret.
No, you're saying like
I know you're trying to go down a Trevor Lawrence rabbit hole right now, but I'm just not entertaining it because we have so many better things to talk about.
That's fine, but okay. Well, what do you guys think about Travis Hunter's ADP in the upper 30s, like early 40s?
Rich, especially. I don't think Brian Thomas is just going to be a set aside piece. Like I think he's still wide receiver 1 there.
So do you think it's
Definitely.
one? Like, will you be high on Hunter this year?
no,
probably not at all. No,
I'm going to be with the field. I'm just still a believer in Lawrence. Like I think Travis Hunter's going to be pretty damn good.
All right, let me ask you this: if Lawrence fails again this year with the weapons he has, what's your take on Lawrence then? Are you going to be more
that
like
he's like mediocre to bad, probably if he just like doesn't have a good year. Yeah, I would say that.
okay?
But
I
I
know
don't
we're coming up
really
on our
see that
picks
happening.
here, but I think this is a good time to get Ayuk and a running back.
I think
like
the
Gerald
Jags are
Johnson.
probably winning that division if I think about it.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying like we're talking about Lawrence. I'm thinking about that division, and I'm thinking that would be the team I would pick to win your division.
Okay. Hear the hate early, just like the Pacers. Just no respect.
Really, I picked the Pacers.
I mean, you didn't pick them tonight.
No, I did. I didn't pick them tonight, but I had them next game to win the series, and before they played.
I think Pacheco's a great pick. Not right here for us, but I think his ADP is pretty nice.
Montgomery does seem like a really good pick here.
Yeah, I think
Let's
Montgomery
go
and
Mont
Ayuk would
first.
be nice.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but we need to pick. Okay, the next one. I mean, I would go Jacoby Myers, but
Wide receiver 3.
wide receiver 1 for
I'd still
Geno.
say Ayuk.
Wide receiver 1 for Geno in the 6th or 7th round. Like, how does he not pay that off?
I'd rather have Ayuk. Much better
I
talent.
mean, there's some upside. I'm fine with either, but I think
I'm fine passing on like 4 games. The beginning of the year, especially with our squad.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess with our receiver room, maybe if we only had like
All right, put it this way. Last year, if Ayuk was your wide receiver 5, you'd be ecstatic.
Yes, but there was a major injury now involved. It's different.
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
He's going to be a great wide receiver 5.
Jacoby's for sure one of my favorite receiver picks in the again, I mean, you're getting like a team's wide receiver 1 and Geno's the quarterback. How does he not just get fed and pay that off? Like, I think he's such a safe pick and he has upside.
Well, you got Brock
Powers.
You think,
I think they're going to run a lot.
Yeah, but that just makes the offense better. You have to understand, like, that's still a separate position. Like, that just helps move the chains. And
you're trying to explain to me how offensive football works right now.
No, but you're telling me
unreal.
He is Geno's wide receiver 1. There's no debating that.
I didn't say he wasn't the wide receiver 1. I didn't say anything against Jacoby Myers. I just said I would prefer Ayuk there, who's a much better talent than Jacoby Myers. Yes, he's coming off an injury, but it's not like Ayuk forgot how to play football. I mean,
I'm always hesitant about ACLs, and I mean Achilles. To me, like, once a player suffers an Achilles, I never draft them again. Like Dobbins, kind of paid off in the regular season last year, not really in the playoffs. But like, there's the second a player tears his Achilles, to me, they're undraftable. Unless you're a quarterback, that's like the only exception. But Rodgers and Kirk kind of proved maybe you shouldn't take them either.
Well, Rodgers didn't have an offensive line, so they did not do him any justice there. Kirk has no explanation for that, because that was so many people were so high on that team, so many offensive weapons.
Yeah, I had quite a bit of Kirk.
I did too.
Last year. You'll notice in drafts this year, after doing so many, like the positions that have value late where you feel like comfortable clicking on guys, to me, are running back, a few quarterbacks, and tight ends. So like, I hate the late receivers. I hate most of the quarterbacks. Last year, there were so many. It felt like there were so many quarterbacks in those final rounds that you could just tack on or wait. And this year, it seems like there's just a massive cliff after round 10, 11. Like, it just starts disappearing fast.
Well, also, I mean, we're drafting so early. I mean, I know there's not going to be a drastic change in ADP. There will be some fallers and some risers, but you still have to kind of play that into, Like Bo Nix was like a last round pick last year. Now
Drake May, Bo Nix, like, but this year the rookies, you have Cam Ward. He goes later. He's like in the 150s, but like he goes higher than Drake May did last year, and I think May's a better prospect. I'm trying to think of what other rookies. Who are the other rookies this year? I can't. Oh,
Sanders.
Yeah. Well, and Sanders. Dart goes like last round. You can get Dart in like the last round. So, but that's the thing. Like, it was a generally bad rookie class.
I wouldn't mind Dart in a bad or in a.
Yeah, I take Dart if I am just like let's
strapped.
say I missed out on all the quarterbacks, and my quarterbacks are like Geno, Stafford, and then I'm like, well, I want a third. Okay, we're up, aren't we?
Yeah.
I would say
You take John.
Probably Bo Nix, right? We need.
Or I was gonna say we could take Tua.
Well, we can get Tua later.
I'm saying we get Janu here. And,
oh yeah. I like that, Janu and Bo Nix. I think Janu. I mean, he's another guy that could have a great year. He's perfect for best ball, I think, too.
Mm-hmm.
He has those major spike weeks.
I would love, since we have Sutton, Bo Nix, and I think Evan Ingram could be the top 5 wide receiver easy this year.
He might fall to us, but I don't know.
Where's Tyler Warren going?
120s ish.
For
I don't really have a whole lot of them.
I mean, that's.
Corey's like, I'm gonna have 100% Tyler Warren.
That's pretty low.
That's how. I don't know why you think that's low. You ended up. It was like one of the worst landing spots he could have gone to for fantasy.
Nah, I mean, I think he's going to be.
He's better if Daniel Jones.
They said that they want to use him like a Taysom Hill. So, I mean,
who said that?
The Colts did.
Like, but who said it?
Shane Steichen, Chris Ballard said that we want to use him as a switch gadget type of guy like Taysom Hill.
I mean, that for sure improves the ceiling. What is Tyler Warren's 40? Because there's no way he's as fast as Taysom.
Nobody's bigger.
I mean, yeah, 4.68.
That's not terrible for his size.
We should tee up
4.44.
Cowboys starting running back Jaden Blue.
Maybe later. I mean, I still take Javonte ahead of Blue, but if I miss on Javonte, I'll take a shot on Blue. Because I do think one of those running backs will probably pay off.
Blue. Des Bryant even said it.
Is Des Bryant the coach?
He's got the inside scoop. That's his old team.
I don't think he has any inside world. He's just
surprised.
Was he a Texas fan?
No.
He went to Oklahoma State. Did he not?
Hollywood goes late.
Yeah. Once I found out that
Tucker Kraft, gem. Tight end 13. He was so good last year.
But Musgrave will also be back, and the receiver room.
Musgrave came back last year.
Yeah, but he was injured and came back late, I think.
I think they struck gold with Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, but now they have Matthew Golden, and they added Savion Williams. Like, it's such a crowded.
That makes me not like Dubes and Christian Watson.
Watson's undraftable.
Yeah,
Watson doesn't get drafted ever.
Man,
he's a good last pick.
Is he? I don't think so.
You think they're gonna roster all those guys?
I mean, Jaden Reed is for sure one of the guys, so I know that.
Matthew there was like some huge thing that said like Jaden Reed's camp basically called Green Bay and was like,
I saw that.
You drafted 2 wide receivers. What's my role here? Type of thing.
Yeah.
And they said like, don't worry, you're still wide receiver 1. But
wait, is that Dubes?
No, Jaden.
No. Jaden Reed's
agent.
Yeah, Drew Rosenhaus. What's his face? Bakhtiari had an interesting reply on that tweet. He was like, he was basically like, this seems like a situation where like player gets upset, bitches to agent like in order to get good press out there, says he's going to contact the team, contacts the team is like, oh, let's keep our guy happy, say what they need to say, and then
I was going to say best players are going to play.
Right, and then Drew Rosenhaus like puts out basically to Schefter that he talked to the team. This is what they said, so that like Drew Rosenhaus gets good press as well. Like just like mending a situation that
playing the game type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, like trying to mend a situation that does seem on the surface a little crowded.
What do we think Drew Rosenhaus's net worth is? Since he basically everyone in the NFL
and MLB, a lot, a lot.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming up here.
We got to win Best Ball Mania to have.
Did Blue get drafted?
Of his net worth.
Nope, not yet.
I still think we don't
take him
take
here.
Blue early. I would way rather have Charbonnet or Javante, but
what do you think about ETN this year?
I think he'll be more valuable if he gets traded.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a bust last year.
I just don't know why Javante had every opportunity and did nothing. I don't know what, like, just because he's like a NFL journeyman at this point. Talk about injury history. Like,
yeah, there's your Achilles.
He basically had one good year, and everyone's just assuming that he's.
Did he?
Everyone's just assuming he's RB1 because like he's played before, but I think Jaden Blue's the guy.
Well, my vote here would be
Corey and Alex. We'll need
Javante.
some tiebreakers.
I'd say Jaden Blue.
Okay.
Just because we're going to draft more than one time this year, guys. So let's just give Nick his crumbs now. No,
crumbs.
I'm kidding.
It's going to be one of the best picks we did.
I'm saying I think he's probably being better than. I like him. I'm not saying I think he's going to be better than Javante. So
even if I could see Javante being like the goal line guy.
Where's
sure.
Where's Tua go here? Like 170s, 160s?
No, like 140, I think.
Do we take him here?
No.
I think we can
155.
No, 155. Yeah.
155. Okay.
Do we like ETN?
Yeah, I'd say ETN. I mean, Hollywood would be the run back because this is the one week 17 game we do know. But I also, when I found out the Chiefs were playing the Broncos, I think the Broncos are going to have one of the best secondaries, one of the best defenses. And in a December game,
right, where it may not matter for the Chiefs
in Arrowhead. I mean, it is going to kind of probably tough for the Broncos in Arrowhead at that time of year too. But in a
stalemate of the game,
yeah. So I'll probably kind of. Like, it makes me an easy. I didn't really want to draft a whole lot of Worthy anyway, and it makes it a lot easier for me to fade him.
Because of 1 week?
Yeah, that week, and I wanted anything to convince me. I was hoping their whole playoff schedule was kind of rough because, like, I don't want to take him a lot. Rice is a little scarier, but with the injury coming, no, he's more expensive than Worthy.
Rice is going before Worthy?
Yeah, Rice is going like in the
early third, middle third.
Yeah, you won't.
Which, obviously,
Worthy.
Worthy's goes at like 30.
Rishi was around before him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, I'm like Hollywood is the one like discounted guy I'll go after. It's crazy seeing Kelsey the first time ever seeing him go in the hundreds.
I mean, he just lost 25 pounds. He's ready to rock and roll.
You'll be taking some Kelsey?
I mean, Kelsey and Tyler Warren, what a better tight end duo than anyone else you can put together. So, no, I mean, and I honestly, I mean, if he falls, I'll take him. I mean, I know he wasn't anything great last year, and his ADP did not pay off, but he's going to get touches. I mean, 4, 5 touches a game, like, maybe that's minimum. I feel like 4 to 5 is average for him per game this year. And like, more games he'll have 10, I still think it's not what he once was, but he still has it.
I just still worry that, they're just going to preserve him for the playoffs. So,
no, I 100% agree. That's what they should do. But
yeah, I mean, I guess he could definitely have some
going that late and you just for a tight end, which is not a premium position. So, like, if you can get a couple spike games out of him, I mean,
I'm more inclined to take him if, let's say, I'm just going for like the Chiefs, like Mahomes just has one of those crazy years again, like regular season where he's throwing like the 5,000 yards. And like if I took Rice, so then I take Mahomes, then I'm much more likely to be like, okay, I'm just banking on this offense to cook again, and I take Kelsey with them. But as a one-off, or I guess now if I have Knicks, I'd likely to just to have a week 17 stack.
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking 3 tight ends and one of those is Travis Kelsey late, like, I'm definitely okay with that.
Yeah, but this is the range you'll start to see, this is the quarterback pocket right here. It's just like a massive run, and then you'll just start to see the value just start disappearing. Like Tua is kind of like one of the last viable quarterbacks, in my opinion.
Where does Richardson go? Just curious.
Well, like 170, maybe.
I mean,
Corey's first time. This is Corey's like first look at ADPs, and he's just checking all the Colts, and he's like, I'm gonna have my entire net worth in Colts on best moment.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, so let's just play the hypothetical.
Undraftable.
Let's play the hypothetical that he throws at a 60% completion rate.
But in what? In preseason, he's not starting. So when is he throwing?
How do you know he's not starting?
When is he throwing a 60% completion rate?
No, I'm just saying
in his life.
I'm just saying, what if this offseason he somehow gets,
somehow
one of your quarterbacks won, you have maybe a coin flip.
I'm not saying where he's going. If you already have 2 quarterbacks before that, or you have one quarterback like a Lamar or like whoever, that is basically going to be your 1-and-1 starter, except for 1 or 2 games.
All right, let's make our pick real quick. I guess Tua probably has to be 1, and then let's find our other. What do you guys think here? We have 1 tight end, but I still think there's good tight ends later. We could do Pitts. Gotta do Pitts. God, if 145, talk about Tyler Warren or get Kyle Pitts 2 rounds later. Come on.
What are we talking about? Kyle Pitts again with Michael Penix.
He was starting to do better with. I mean, nothing. Kirk
definitely
was
better than Kirk.
Let's take Pitts just so we can say we did it one time, and that'll be it.
Oh no! You think we're going to be drafting Pitts just one time? This summer. 145, Corey. I can guarantee I'll be in a draft with you sometimes this summer, and I'll see you take Kyle Pitts. So don't get that. Same thing with Nick. Nick does the same thing, and then I'm pretty sure all 3 drafts I've been in with Nick, he's taking Kyle Pitts in every single one.
Okay. All right. We're not going to start the Pitts talk.
His widers, or maybe his like tight end 3s.
What? Okay.
You take him is my point.
So what? My point I was trying to make with Richardson is, like, if you have like a top tier quarterback and you just need to take a flyer on someone that late with that much athletic talent, with that running upside, why would you not consider taking him there in a round where you're pretty much just filling in just depth on your team?
I mean, it's not you do like when you take zeros, and I get if you have Lamar, but like what happens in the bye week? Like that really hurts your team on a bye week where
if you're taking 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
If you take the only exception maybe to me where I would be like, okay, I'll take is I like got wrecked, and there was a quarterback run, and like I'm now looking at let's see, Michael Penix as my first quarterback, and then I get Bryce Young as my second quarterback, and I'm like, man, like I wish there was maybe some upside chance thrown in. Then I would, but like I'm gonna try to avoid that so much where I'm not stuck with those types of quarterbacks.
Well, yeah,
early too.
I'm not saying that's the strategy where you take Richardson. I didn't say that. I said if you have an established one quarterback, like anyone basically from 11 and down, like I would say you're more than capable of taking an Anthony Richardson as an option in case he does blow up, because he's the most athletically gifted quarterback in the NFL. There's no questions about that. Yes, he sucks at throwing the ball, which is the main position.
Full competency of the.
It's parlaying. Like it to me, it's like you're just there's so much risk of just a pure
as a second option,
zero,
not as a starting option.
No, but when your best ball team, you taking any zeros like Richardson. Like let's say you gave Lamar.
Do you think Richardson's not going to play the entire year?
I think you're very much in denial of the situation where Anthony Richardson is basically Jamarcus Russell.
Okay, first of all, I never stamped my flag saying Anthony Richardson is the guy. I've always said he has the opportunity to be the guy if he can figure it out. And has he figured it out? No, he has not. But he's not a Jamarcus Russell who was sipping lean before he went to practice and like couldn't read a book.
They can both throw very far, and we're prospects with tons of
look at the quarterbacks going now, like just so you can see this fall off.
Yeah, I mean,
last year in the 160s, like there were like so like Derek Carr, there were guys, and obviously Derek Carr.
I'd rather take Shadur Sanders.
No, I'm saying last year there were so many guys you could get late, but this year it just feels like it's so hard, and that's why running backs here. Like I like Tank Bigsby.
Hit him with the Rico.
Not so much him. But there's other ones.
You loved Rico last year.
Yeah, and he was fine.
Borderline obsessed with him.
I thought where he went, and he was absolutely fine in drafts last year.
What about
I'd rather have Pat Freiermuth on my team than Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
I'm fine with getting a third tight end if you want to, and I do like Pat Freiermuth here.
I would have Pat Freiermuth than any Browns on my team, so we could play.
But Wandell, I think, is a pretty solid.
Jerry Jeudy.
What do you think, Wandell or Freiermuth? I guess we have two picks.
I think we go for the Alec Pierce AR-15 stack.
Was electric.
Yeah, it was.
Wandell with.
I take Wandell.
Okay, and then.
I like Freiermuth too.
Yeah, Freiermuth, if Rodgers goes there, I mean, it's literally DK and him. And Rodgers does kind of like his tight ends.
Do we still have like Braylon Allen on the board?
I don't think he will be.
Nope.
No. 1-6.
No, I'm trying to think of the zero running back guys that I like in this range. Can you go to running backs? I'm just trying to.
No.
Like
Braylon Allen.
I think Devin Neal, Jalen Wright. Oh, Jalen Wright would make sense with our Tua team. And then I like Marshawn Lloyd, Will Shipley. I really like Will Shipley.
Gross.
DJ Giddens.
I like Marshawn Lloyd, but he's got a handcuff to Jacobs.
Yeah, we don't need Lloyd on this team because of Jacobs. But Will Shipley, if Saquon goes down, you're talking about Will Shipley being the Eagles' lead back.
I think you talk about Nick Chubb getting signed.
Nick Chubb will probably sign with the team like week 8.
That's what I mean. Like whoever loses a big running back is just gonna go to the well.
Yeah, if I was
whoever's left in free agency.
If I was Nick Chubb, I would literally hold out until that happened.
You think that the Ravens, Derrick Henry?
I think he's waiting for any shot.
No, why? Dude, he wants the chance to win a Super Bowl. You're not gonna just wait to take any shot because you know who's gonna get hurt? The Carolina Panthers running back, and then he's gonna be stuck there.
The Panthers have so many running backs.
Yeah, I'm just saying, who's another really, really bad team that just just has no success this entire next upcoming year.
Colts,
Browns. He's not going to
Saints,
sign with the Browns.
the Saints.
Saints. He won't sign with the Saints. Like he's not going to sign with the team that he's not going to have any opportunity.
Yeah.
Like he'd be okay with like touching the ball like 10 times a game, maybe.
I think he'd be
Just
perfect.
goal
on
line
Bears.
work, getting the touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So he should literally do exactly what Leonard Fournette did.
that could be his path.
Or
Do you really think like he has his pick of teams right now, though?
Garrett Blunt.
No, it's
I
not
don't think so.
teams. You're just banking on the law of large numbers. Like someone gets injured, and you
Yeah,
land on
but
it.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think he can basically choose whatever team he wants right now.
No,
Like, I think he's probably.
But what
not
better
gonna
way
give
to
him any
increase your value
opportunities
than
in
wait
this
till there's an injury and then your value goes up?
Yeah, but he's not really like a money guy.
that's what I'm saying. So like, why would if he's not a money guy,
Right.
he's gonna be waiting for a team that's playoff liable.
And wouldn't you want to preserve your career by not having like a zillion touches?
No, I think he's like a true football guy. He's like, just let me play.
Okay, well, then he probably won't have much more of a career.
It'd be amazing if he came back and had any success after that injury. No matter where he lands.
What? How many more rounds have we got? 16 and 17?
And 18.
18?
So right now we're looking at running backs, receivers, pretty much, and then late, like with our last round pick, if like we have Knicks and Tua. Like this year is the first year where I think having 3 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends could, like, I'll probably have more of those than I have in years past because of how drafts are going this year and how where the value is. So,
I mean, I mean,
Jaleel.
but I guess, I mean, Bo and Tua, it's like teetering on. Usually it's better if you can like find another stack. Like if you, Wandell, I guess Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
And Rodgers would be Friday.
Yeah.
And apparently Jackson Dart's going to be like the best quarterback to ever come in the league.
Could be.
Spin the ball before he threw it the other day. He literally was
flag.
He literally took the snap, pump fake,
Yeah, I saw it and spun it. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're going to get chewed out for doing that. This isn't Ole Miss where you can just sit back in the pocket.
Yeah, I would for sure. Shipley.
Man, Slayton's still cooking.
Woody Marks could be kind of interesting.
Click the running back tab for a sec. Is what's his face, the Rams guy there? He might be gone.
Blake Corum?
No, the other one. No, he's gone.
What other one?
Jaquez.
Yeah, Jaquez.
Jarquez.
Shipley. Let's go Shipley first.
How many points did Shipley put up? Under 100? Easy.
Oh, yeah.
13. PV's all in on him.
No, I love Shipley. He's like my top, probably my number one. Him and Lloyd are my number one late round running back picks.
This is where we're going to get arguments in the first time.
100%. This is where the last round picks.
There's so many better picks here.
Denver and Miami.
Nick Chubb. Add Mitchell.
I guess one more.
I'd rather have Jaleel McLaughlin. He has an actual shot.
All right,
RJ Harvey.
Jaleel, with Denver, go Jaleel.
You know what I mean? If Harvey doesn't pan out, there's really no one else there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like Jaleel's a guy that I'll sprinkle in, but that's only if Shipley and Lloyd aren't there.
I like Lloyd. I'm with you there, but Shipley.
Explain why you're not in on Shipley.
Because he's gonna be worthless unless Saquon goes down, and if Saquon goes down, I'm not even
where's
sure
Lloyd's
Will
value?
Shipley's like the guy.
Where's Lloyd's value?
I think he's gonna play more than Shipley.
What does that mean? Play more. So when's like, if Josh Jacobs is healthy, where's the value?
They mixed in their backup a decent amount.
These
actually.
picks are like you're making these picks with like crazy upside. Let's say what happens if in July Saquon like tears his Achilles, like Shipley.
My point is, I think they would bring someone else in.
Well, yeah, then that's where you can get your Nick Chubb.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know if they will. Think about how good this running back draft class was. They didn't take anybody.
They like Will
Do you
Shipley.
think that was a vote of confidence to Will Shipley?
Absolutely. How is it not?
Because they had
Think about
seven
no.
rounds
This running back class was
upgrade
like
their team.
an historically good class, and they said no because
Yes,
they took
because they have
shit last-
Saquon Barkley.
They had more holes to fill. They had
Yeah.
more important.
We're talking about later round picks where some really good running backs were still going, where Dylan Sampson, where like I'm talking like Devin Neal, like these guys.
They have the best running back in the league by
It doesn't
far.
matter. He's older, and they passed on a very good running back class. They took Shipley last year when Saquon was there, right? The year they signed Saquon, they took Will Shipley. What's the difference?
They weren't so sure Saquon was going to be the
What?
Saquon that
You
they
make
had.
him the
I mean,
highest paid.
he's
You
a
make
great
him
player,
make your
but-
arguments falling apart. You don't make him the highest paid running back to maybe he's not going to pan. No, they drafted Shipley in the year they made.
I think they
Saquon
would
the
probably
highest paid
play
running
like
back.
Kenneth Gainwell.
They traded him. He's gone.
They'd call him up.
Dude.
They'd go get their guy back.
Shipley it's not even a debate, I don't think. Like Shipley is like 100% one of the best late round running back picks. Like it's not like a maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Like it's
Do you
just
think his 13 points last year was a vote of confidence?
That's because Saquon's played. You're getting
but if
one
they didn't even put him in to give Saquon a breather the whole season.
When he came out for a little bit, Shipley did. He had a 40-yard
He
touchdown.
had 13 points.
And it was on the one play he had was like a 40-yard touchdown.
Nick, you're just saying stuff to say stuff now because
No, I'm not.
I
don't think Will Shipley has any value.
That's insanity. So, all right, Nick, how about this?
I like him over J.K. Dobbins, who's like sitting on free agency. But
if Saquon gets injured tomorrow, out for the season, and Will Shipley becomes like a 4th round pick or whatever, like 5th round pick,
have Adam.
No. I'll have him in the 18th round, and we'll see. I can guarantee you would draft Will Shipley if, let's say, he was going in the 5th round and he fell 3 rounds. You'd be like, "Oh my gosh, look at this!"
I don't think he's very good.
He was amazing at Clemson. I don't know what you're talking.
I know you love him too.
I'm not in love with him. I'm just saying,
you loved Will Shipley last year, and those 13 points did not pay off for you.
He's a very good pick.
Nick, I wasn't drafting Will Shipley last year. What are you talking about?
Corey was.
I did draft Will Shipley.
He loved Will Shipley.
I did sprinkle him because I thought like, oh, it's Kenneth Gainwell. I was taking a little bit more Gainwell, but I was like, one of these two guys, if Saquon gets hurt, is probably paying off or is paying off.
It's a lottery ticket. What are you complaining about a lottery ticket?
There's probably better odds.
Okay, so you're looking. So
we should probably take another receiver now that I'm thinking.
So you're talking about value back here. So you're looking for a running back that in this round is potentially going to get you anywhere between like if they are not the starter.
Hang on, let's lock in on this one pick real quick.
I like Tutu Atwell.
Yeah, I like Tutu as well.
Ray could have some value. He had some big games last year.
Back to the Chargers.
No,
I mean,
I don't think so. I think
I'd rather have Tyler Lockett.
They also just
really right there.
Trey Harris. I don't like Mike Williams at all.
I mean, you could go Troy Franklin maybe.
Malik Washington correlates with Miami.
Savion.
Troy Franklin correlates. I'm fine. Tutu is my favorite receiver, not correlated, but I just, wide receiver 3.
I don't know. They did get Devontae and that tight end from LSU, Ferguson.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you get like Malik Washington or Troy Franklin would have been like a stat guy, but Tutu probably has like a better floor, and I don't know.
He stepped up when he needed to.
Where's Corey?
Turned his camera off or something? I don't know.
He
Oh,
said his laptop died.
Lovely.
at least
Good
it happened
timing.
at the end there.
Good timing.
Well, yeah, it always happens. The end of these turn into late round pick, the least important picks, but kind of important, turn into the biggest arguments.
These are the most important picks.
You could say that. They will be when someone like Saquon goes down. They'll be very important. I'm talking about Will Shipley, league winner. Max fab bid on all your.
I'm not putting my name on that.
I will. All right. We'll be back on Thursday for another stream. Whoever did watch, not sure this first one had any traction, but we'll keep continuing. And we'll see you next time.